Hi everyone, this is Lada from Astrolada.com for your weekly forecast for the week of 1st of August till the 7th of August. Let's see how this month is starting. And we have a very interesting week. The big thing is that there is a new moon in Leo, and I'm going to talk about how it's going to affect each sign. Then there are planets shifting their signs. 3 planets are shifting signs: Venus, Mercury, and Saturn and Mars. Sorry, I'm going to talk about that as well. And then I'm going to go through the week day by day, so you know what to expect. And then I'm going to speak what signs will be affected how during each day, and who's going to benefit the most, or who has to be more careful. So that will be a bit more in-depth weekly horoscope, and I hope you enjoyed how we go. So there we go. The week, I want to first start talking a little bit about the overall energy of this week. Basically, Venus, Mercury, and Mars are shifting into the so-called mutable signs. This means that from the first week of August, not all of them will shift from the very beginning. Venus will shift towards Friday, Mars will shift towards Wednesday, Mercury has shifted from the beginning of the week already into a mutable sign, into Virgo. But what does it mean? And also we have already Jupiter and Saturn in mutable, the so-called dual signs. So it means that all the 5 traditional visible planets, excluding Sun and Moon, which are not considered planets, but Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter will be from the first week of August in mutable signs. So it means like the energy will start shifting and becoming way more shifting from the fixed signs where they were for quite a while. Mars was in Aries, Venus and Mercury were in Leo. They're fixed signs, so the energy is becoming less and less stable, but not in a negative way, because the fixed signs are about persevering. It's about doing kind of a continuation and maintenance, while the mutable signs are a little bit more about dissolution. The mutable signs and the energy changing dates a little bit more about adaptation. So you'll notice people becoming more adaptive, more willing to look at different alternatives, not so stubborn as maybe they were till now. Generally, people around the world will start feeling it more and more, and the second week of August, definitely people will be less, dogmatic or less fixed in their minds, but starting from this week. And people will be willing to explore different options rather than stick to one. If, for instance, if they find an obstacle, they're not just gonna bang their head against it or just get disappointed and stop doing anything. They'll try to find a roundabout way around it, so that's what the mutable energy helps us do. The mutable energy is very much energy that is more about research, about investigation, about finding out different alternatives, about experimenting, trying different things. So people will definitely maybe start seeing a mutable energy. Mutable means dual. So people start seeing one matter from a few different angles. So if they've been feeling stuck a little bit with the very fixed energy that we've had for a few weeks, and if they've been feeling stuck in anything in your life, when the planets start moving now into mutable into mutable signs, your consciousness will kind of also become more mutable, more fluid, more adaptable, more willing to, and more able to notice different options, and not feeling so one-minded and one-sided in a sense. So that's what can be great, and it's an amazing thing for example, for improving on something, because mutable energy is not so much about totally making something totally cardinally radically new, which is usually the cardinal energy of the planets. The mutable energy, the dual energy, is more like having something that's already there. Maybe it's not perfect, so you can improve on it by seeing different angles, and it matters for anything in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's career, whether it's some other matter or project that you're working on. It's an amazing time when the energy is mutable for you to basically to kind of perfect it, to to smooth the corners, to look at it from different angles, and to introduce maybe a more adaptable, a better version. And as they say, it's not the strongest that survive, but the most adaptable. So adaptation is extremely important energy for us, and this is what the planets start bringing us from the first week of August. Another interesting thing is that there is a new moon in Leo, and it's happening around Tuesday, on the 2nd of August. And people actually who are born on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of August, approximately even till the 4th, it means that their birthday is happening around the new moon. And it means that the next 12 months, because whatever the energies of the planets are around your birthday, on the day before, or after of your birthday, this is how the whole year will definitely carry that energy. So if you're born 1st, 2nd, 3rd, maybe up to the 4th, very likely the next, not very likely, your birthday is on a new moon, around the time of a new moon. It means new beginnings in your life over the next 12 months. So happy birthday to those of you who have it. For example, when I had a new moon exactly on my birthday, that was 7 years ago. This is when I started my astrology business. And that's a totally new beginning, brand new beginning, and something that you're passionate and excited about, because this is Leo. But also the advice, so big year for you ahead, guys. But for everyone else, I always advise, when it's a new moon, which means the moon is not visible in the sky, you know, the moon is very kind of close to the sun, so we can't see it during the day, in a sense. So it's a dark moon, as they say, and the moon rules growth. So when there is a new moon 2 days before and 2 days after the new moon, I always advise people not to start anything new, because you want this moon to be visible and you want this moon to be growing. Because if you start something new and you want it to be lasting, longer lasting, giving long-term results, you want the moon first to be growing, so this thing can also grow, whatever you're doing. And you also want the moon to be visible, at least the first sliver of the moon. When the moon is not visible, it's kind of this growth process a little bit stunted. And before the new moon on Monday and Tuesday, it's kind of, the moon is still, you know, coming to the sun, so it's kind of closing. And after that, I would say after Friday onwards is amazing time for new beginnings. And when there is a new moon for 2 weeks, for around 2 weeks after the new moon, this energy of the new moon is felt. So how is that going to affect everyone? Well, the new moon, which means Venus, or which means the sun and the moon are joining together in the sky, female and male beginning together, joined. It's what do you get when you get female and male, the king and the queen? You get a baby, you get new creations, you get new ideas, you get new inspirations, you get the birth of something new. And it's happening in Leo, which is very passionate sign, so there'll be like a passionate birth of something new in your life. And this time though, this new moon is extremely positive, because it has only one aspect, and it's a positive aspect from the planet Saturn. So not only will you birth some new idea over the next 2 weeks, and that's for everyone, which will be passionate about, which will be something more creative, which is very much kind of a Leo rules the creative intelligence, the unique creative intelligence divinely ordained to us, which only humans, you know, can be proud of. And Leo is our strength as well, as inner strength. So something of that sort will be born. But not only that, but Saturn makes a trine aspect to this new moon, which means Saturn is the planet of material, concrete manifestations. And you know, you can have an amazing idea, but if you don't work on it hard, which is Saturn, if you don't take concrete steps, which is Saturn, which you don't it's not going to manifest in the material, which is Saturn again. But Saturn is making fantastic aspect to this new moon, the sun and moon, and people that have birthday on those days that I said, they definitely the next year not only will bring new beginnings, but they'll work hard towards them in a harmonious way that will bring the material manifestations by the end, by the next birthday. But for everyone else, this new moon, which is effective for about a couple of weeks, you probably already start feeling it, create something new, which you also work in concrete steps. And not only will those new ideas or opportunities come, which are symbolized by the new moon, but you'll also be able to take concrete steps and do something practical, realistic, through this supportive aspect of Saturn, in order to manifest it, realize it, concretize it, crystallize it in some way. And Leo is usually very passionate, enthusiastic sign, but this time Saturn, the trine from Saturn, which is a good aspect, tempers it in a positive way. So it's not, you're not gonna go wild with the fairies dreaming, oh, I'm gonna, you know, create the next Apple, you know, software or whatever. But some, you know, whatever idea it is, even if it's like, oh, I'm gonna plant an apple in my garden. Sorry, I'm giving you an example with apple, but whatever it is, you not only have that idea and that excitement, but you will go and do something about it because of the Saturn aspect. And Saturn will temper this kind of enthusiasm and passion of fire, of the Leo fire new moon, with kind of more rational and more concrete, with more toned down, but not in a depressive way, more realistic attitude towards those new things that are coming in your life. So for example, the air signs, which are Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, whether it's your sun, ascendant or moon, if you have it in one of those three signs, the new moon in fire in Leo will fall in one of your communication and other people houses, which are social houses. So it means that the air signs can manifest and will basically will create new beginnings, will get some new opportunities or new inspirations coming to them from other people, for example, through friends, relatives, from partners. Maybe new relationships might be formed over the next 2 weeks for the air signs. Maybe new opportunities come to you through others, through cooperating, through partnering, with teamwork, through friends. And they often, definitely some opportunities in regards to their, for example, I'm Aquarius ascendant, and the new moon is falling in my 7th house, which is the public and audience and other people. And exactly on the new moon I'm making a webinar, and I'm starting a series about a webinar, so it's connected to others, giving, you know, giving, receiving, exchanging with others in some way. And also those, you know, the air signs can manifest by the new moon. Those houses, the 3rd, the 7th, and the 11th, they're kind of about exchange with others, and they're about traders' houses as well, about negotiations, about agreeing, about bargaining as well. So something new can come from that direction. For the fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, whether it's your ascendant, sun, or moon, this fiery new moon will trigger definitely new ideas and inspirations for you, because the new moon triggers your inspirational houses, triggers your 5th or 1st or 9th house. First brings more vitality, renewed vitality, and interest towards upliftment, more enthusiasm. Those 3 houses are the houses of Dharma, as they call, which is inspiration, which comes directly from above. So stay open for new ideas, very creative energy. Stay open for feeling also renewal of excitability, renewal of energy, renewal of vitality for you, renewal of even luck, because those houses are considered quite lucky, and renewal of faith and belief and confidence. This kind of strengthen you, this new moon, you know. And renewal of your vision for your path forward, because that's what Dharma is, your path forward, the path that makes you joyful and happy, the path you're meant to walk in. So maybe receiving new signs or new opportunities that put the fire signs on a more correct path, that brings them more joy, and a path that is, you know, in regards to where they're heading, a vision for themselves. The earth signs, whether it's Capricorn, whether it's Taurus, or whether it's Virgo, this new moon in fire in Leo is happening in the houses, the so-called emotional houses, in the 12th, in the 8th, in the hidden houses, in the 4th house. So this new moon will kind of revive and renew and bring new beginnings in regards to their personal life, in regards to deep emotional bondings, maybe in regards to family, in regards to some private matters. There will be a renewal and new ideas which are on more imaginative level, which are on more emotional level. Maybe some kind of a possibility for healing on the emotional, for the spirit in some way. And last but not least is, of course, the water signs. For them, this renewal is happening, the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And this new moon in Leo is triggering their practical, earthy, down-to-earth houses. So there might be new opportunities or new ideas, or renewal and new ideas in regards to career, with work, with duties and responsibilities, with money, with positions, social positions, and matters of practical nature. So this is where you can expect this renewal, and not only new inspiration there, but also you taking concrete steps to manifest it. Okay, so now let's look at the one by one the days, what is happening. Monday and Tuesday start on a very positive note with 2 wonderful aspects in the sky. The first one is Sun trine. The Sun is trine Saturn, and it's active till Wednesday. So this is great for doing business. This is great for following through on some goals. This is great because both Saturn and Mars are also authority figures. If you want to approach an authority figure, senior figure, this is amazing because they're harmoniously placed, or a boss, or whatever, you know. And you can affirm your authority in a much healthier way, in a way that is not painful to others. And other authority figures are also more agreeable, so to speak. And the Sun is naturally our initiative, and when Saturn trines it, we're more practical, more rational, more follow through in regards to our initiatives. So this is all good for such kind of career matters, for anything which is in regards to you know, the first 2-3 days of the week are good for business, I would say, are good for work generally, and for being more practical, down to earth, which helps us manifest certain creative ideas. The sun is creative ideas. Saturn is, you know, the trine that I was talking about during the new moon. And who will benefit the most? People that have sun, ascendant, or moon in Leo and in Aquarius or Capricorn, which rules the sun and which rule the sun and Saturn, but also all the fire signs will benefit: Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, because the trine is happening in air signs, and they'll benefit the most in what I said, how this energy plays out, like concrete steps, more down to earth, but at the same time full of ideas, and you're able to manifest them and implement them. And then Venus is also in trine with Uranus those 2-3 days at the beginning from the week. So not only are we serious and we go about our business with positive, easy, harmonious follow through and results, but also we're socially more experimental, because Venus is how we socialize with others. We're willing to try different exotic foods, we're meeting new people that are more exciting, we're making new social connections, which is much easier when Venus is in trine to Uranus. We're meeting more, you know, exciting or different people, or have some pleasant conversations and good times with friends, or if you're romantically involved, this can bring some opportunities to meet an interesting romantic person, or you know, you can go on a date and experiment with some kind of new activities that you're doing, and there'll be more excitement, more vivacity around, more magnetic electric sparks, but in a positive way, flying romantically. And in regards to Venus activities, and people will be more willing to dress a bit more zany, but not in a way that is offensive to the eyes to others, to dress up more fashionable, cutting edge, to experiment with clothes, to experiment with food. So all those Venusian ruled things, and women overall will be in a better mood. You know, Venus rules all the women. They won't be so premenstrual, so to speak. They'll be more willing to experiment, they're more willing to accept you with your faults, you know. And anyone who is in careers that are Venusian, for example, beauty, fashion, art, diplomacy, socializing in any way, they will have a boost of new ideas, which is Uranus, a boost of fresh energy there. And Aquarian people, some moon ascendant, will benefit through Venus in pleasant experiences. And then also Venus people, which are Taurus and Libra and moon ascendant people, will get like this Uranus energy harmoniously, like a spark of imagination, spark of crazy experimentative energy, something unusual, something that gives them a eureka moment and a bright idea, something just more fun and, you know, open-minded and modern. And then the week progresses, as we know, on Wednesday, Tuesday is the new moon that I talked about, and then we continue with, towards the end of the week, there are no more aspects, but towards the end of the week we see that Saturn and Mercury make a difficult aspect, and that can create, towards the weekend basically, this can generate a little bit more of a tense energy in communication. Someone says something, another one takes it too personally, or someone says something and there is some mistake that happens, because, and Saturn is a corrective planet though. Mercury is communication, speaking, administration, writing, you know, friendships. So there might be a little bit more strained situations in friendships or communications with others. Try not to take things personally. Someone can be more critical towards you, or you might be more critical towards others. You might be in a little bit more negative state frame of mind, and it just lasts for 2-3 days, so don't make mountains out of molehill. If you notice yourself towards the weekend seeing things more in black and white colors, or people being a bit more cautious and distant in communications, which usually happens, like always kind of, you know, measuring each other's words, you know. And it's good when Mercury squares Saturn to actually measure your words, to actually, you know, systematically check for mistakes, or in communication, written, administrative, some mistakes in regards to communication, business administration, anything with organizing, managing, anything in communications can come to the surface to be corrected, which a difficult Saturn-Mercury aspect requires. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that astrology forecast. I hope that was useful for you, and I will see you next week. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook, Astrolada.